Welcome to the first ValAssist video. Today's topic is callouts that are crucial to winning more matches. Callouts in video games, typically first-person shooters, are things that you or your teammates say to work more effectively than a team that isn't using comms, aka communication. Here is a list of the callouts I will be covering in the video to help you work more effectively with your team in both a casual and competitive atmosphere.
The rotate callout is used on offense when a site you're attacking is unfeasible and your team would be better heading back and around to another site. Similarly, on defense, rotate is called when contact is made on a site and defenders want to put more people on it to increase its protection. The bait res callout, shortened from bait resurrection, is typically used by a player that has died to indicate that their sage could attempt a revive to bait out greedy opposition. The flank callout is used to notify allies that an opponent is attempting to or has already made contact with your backline of players, like this when you're attacking, or this when you're defending. The cut noise callout is used to tell allies not to act in a way that would make noise or give away their position by shift walking, crouching, or just standing still and not using any utility. The fake rotate callout is used on offense to tell the team to make noise leading away from a site being attacked shortly before making their way back to the original site quietly, and vice versa on defense to tell allies that the opponents aren't rotating away from site. The grab/get guns callout is used to remind allies on a gun disadvantage round to grab better weapons off of opponent corpses, usually after the round has finished. The eco callout is used to tell your team not to buy anything expensive, such as over 1,000 credit weapons, so as to save as many credits as possible for the round after. The full buy callout is used to tell your team the opposite of an eco, where everyone should be buying expensive guns, typically rifles like the Vandal or Phantom, full shields, and all util. The half buy callout is a bit more complicated than an eco or full buy callout, as it is used to tell your team that they should buy something better than a pistol, but not necessarily a rifle, operator, or Odin, as well as half shields. The weapons usually picked are Stinger/Spectre, Judge, Marshal, Ares, or a combination of half shield and Ghost/Sheriff. The save callout is used to tell living allies that they should avoid danger to keep their gun for next round, although this type of call is highly situational, as living will yield less credits on a lost round. The stack up callout is used to communicate to your team that everyone should play together for a single site, and is typically called during eco or pistol rounds. A 3-number defense or offense, such as a 1-3-1, 2-2-1, or for 2 site maps 3-2, are some examples used to coordinate how many players should be focusing on each site, and is usually called from furthest left site to right site in the orientation of your team.
The plant/planted for scenario callout is used to notify allies that the spike is or should be positioned for certain angles or strategies, such as main, indicating that it can be shot at from the main entrance of the site, or default, to indicate that it is positioned in a safe or commonplace spot that can be utility dumped/spammed with lineups. The swing with me or double peek callout is used to notify an ally that you're taking a fight and that they should swing with you to have better odds of winning the gunfight. It also helps to specify the agent you want help from when announcing the callout. The play off action callout can be used to notify allies to hide behind cover and peek when something specific happens. One example is peek off my contact, where a teammate will wait behind cover for you to shoot before swinging out from an awkward spot to the enemy, which catches them off guard to have higher odds of a successful trade or gunfight. An alternative use is play off flash, where one or more teammates wait behind cover until you flash, or vice versa, calling a teammate to flash and swinging after it with them. The double blind callout is used to set up an entry or peek with a teammate where both allies utilize their flash ability, such as Sky and Reyna, or some other flash-oriented agent combination to bait counter-pop flash tactics, or just to throw off the enemy's flash expectations. The lurk or lurker callout is used in reference to a player that typically goes around the map by themselves, where there may be little action in an attempt to pick off unsuspecting opponents from an unexpected angle. This callout does have some familiarity to the flank callout, as you would either say lurker or flank when being attacked from behind. The out callout is typically used by defenders to notify their team that attackers have exited the main entrance to a site and are now on said site trying to take control. It can also be used by attackers in some capacity to tell allies that defenders have gotten onto the target site. The noise A, B, or C callout, sometimes replaced with map locations like mid, is used to notify teammates that you hear an enemy's presence at that location, such as footsteps or utility. The burst out after action callout notifies allies to play fast and aggressively to take the target site after a certain prerequisite occurs, such as engaging in a gunfight, taking certain map control, or grabbing orb, to name a few actions. The default callout is similar to the 3-number defense/offense callout, but is used to spread attackers thin in an attempt to gain info on how the enemies defend areas of the map. This is also typically executed on an eco or half-buy round if attackers aren't stacking. The play quiet/slow push is another callout that is primarily attacker-sided, but has rare defender case scenarios of use that is called to coordinate a stealthier and slower attack towards a site. The play for picks callout is somewhat situational, but is used by attackers to coordinate the holding of angles by the attacker spawn or site entrances, and waiting for enemies to carelessly or aggressively run out from site. The rush callout is used to coordinate a fast and aggressive assault onto a site and can be called out at any point in the round, such as when info gathering has determined enemies to all be away from a site. The split A, B, or C callout is used to coordinate with allies a multi-lane attack, such as a 2-3 attack, where 2 or 3 players hit site from the main entrance, while the rest go through mid/middle lane to put additional pressure on defenders. The plant callout is not normally made when it's executable, but it can be used to notify the spike carrier that planting can commence because it is safe to do so. The reset callout is used to coordinate with allies that you should all fall back from the main entrance of a site you're attacking and determine a new plan while holding angles for any aggressive defenders trying to chase the retreat. The defuse callout is used to notify allies that you or them can go and properly defuse, aka stick spike, while everyone else looks to defend the diffuser. The planting A, B, or C callout is used to notify allies that the spike is being planted or even fake planted at the called out site. This should be used as people too far away from the spike plant can't actually hear the planting noise and will rotate slower than if the callout were made. The play for retake callout is used to coordinate with your team that a site under heavy attack or being rushed should be fallen off of, and everyone will regroup around it to perform an execute together, sort of switching the defender's role into the shoes of the attackers. Another instance is getting all defenders to defend one site at the beginning of the round if predicting a fast push, and letting the enemy take another site if they hit somewhere else, which will be the moment when your team needs to retake that site. The T and CT callout is directed towards attacker spawn with T and defender spawn, which is CT. One that I came up with while scripting this, however, is OT, which normally refers to overtime in games, or ST, but for the purpose of the map fracture would relate to the secondary spawn of the T side, hence the term OT/ST for other or secondary T spawn. The A, B, and C long callout refers to the longest lane connecting to the entrance of a site, but not all sites will have this type of callout and map geometry. The mid callout refers to the middle point of the map, normally found on 3-site maps, but sometimes also 2-site maps. The link callout refers to the side lanes connecting to the main lanes, but will sometimes have their own unique callout, such as tree, tiles, and market on ascent. A lane, referring back to the callout of default, split, and 3-number defense/offense, is a length of the map running from T spawn to CT spawn and vice versa. A rare exception is the map fracture that doesn't quite have the geometry for this term. The under/hell and top/heaven callout relates to map geometry that gives someone a significant height advantage, as well as the area found directly underneath that height advantage spot. This callout can sometimes change as certain maps will contain a proper map callout for these locations.
That covers the extent of the callouts that I know of. If you know other ones that weren't mentioned, please put them in the comment section down below, and while you're there, consider subscribing and or liking the video, as the support is extremely helpful and encouraging as I make more content.